Well, hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. I just want to let you know on the front end that if you like the videos that I share on my YouTube channel, and I hope that you do, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, because I'm kind of erratic in how I drop my videos. That sounds so cheesy, dropping, but you know what I mean. So if you want to kind of stay current and up to date and see what I'm sharing, you might want to subscribe. And if you enjoy this video, I would greatly appreciate you hitting the like button and leaving me a comment, of course. Let's talk today about the gallery game. I wanted to share with you just a quick video of how I created the gallery game and how my students are playing the gallery game. So in my room, this is new this year, my tables have corresponding carts. This is the orange table. They get their supplies off the orange cart. I'm not going to do that right now because I can't quite reach down there, but I will grab one off the red cart. But I just want to explain to you that kind of setup in my room. So I'm grabbing the gallery game. So in my room, when the kids are playing the gallery game, there's 4 kids per table. They can pick one friend from their table, which really gives the kids an opportunity, like the girls who want to hang out with their friend at the table who happens to be a girl also, or the dudes who want to work together, and for me to give them that choice. Choice is a beautiful thing and they love it. So once they've got their partner picked, I tell my students that they can go anywhere in the art room within reason to play the gallery game. So I have a pretty large room. I'm kind of spoiled. I've got a little lounge area back here we call the Rainbow Lounge. I've got an instructional area here on the floor, or they can simply sit in their seats. But I want them to be comfortable, find a cozy little place to partner up with their buddy. So to play the gallery game, on this sheet you can find for free downloadable PDF on my blog. This sheet shows, and I'll take it out of here so you can see it a little bit better, it explains what I'm calling painting genres or painting categories. I go through this sheet really quickly with them, but it gives them a visual and a short description on what I categorize as painting genres. So a portrait, a self-portrait, a landscape, abstract, and the difference between objective and non-objective, still life, historical paintings, a genre painting, which is a painting of people doing things in their everyday life, and realistic and painterly. I know there's a million other kind of painting genres or categories. These are the ones for my elementary students that I really wanted them to focus on. So they've got that in a plastic sleeve. The other thing in their little gallery game is they have a cookie sheet. The reason being that we're using a cookie sheet is because what they're using to play the game with are magnets. They also have to get a dry eraser and a marker. And then in this little pouch from the Dollar Tree, they've got a bunch of magnets of works of art. Probably, I would say a dozen plus, looks like almost 2 dozen different kinds of magnets. These magnets were made by me, super easy. I scored this book called The Art Masters. It's a sticker book with 250 stickers of works of art by artists, the greats, so to speak. Unfortunately, not a lot of contemporary artists. I mean, they are contemporary, but nobody who's actually alive and working. We've got Frida Kahlo, I think, is probably the most contemporary artist in here, but it does cover the biggins. So to play the gallery game, they are to first sort their artwork. So these stickers I placed on little magnets. I happen to have a bunch, but you can get magnets, like a roll of a magnet, pretty inexpensive. Put the sticker on there, and I just spent a weekend with my mother-in-law actually just cutting these out. So once they kind of have them all out of the pouch, they are to organize all the little works of art on their cookie sheet. And then they're supposed to create the categories, sort them by still life, portrait, genre. That caused a lot of discussion in my room because they're trying to decide, well, a genre painting is something people do in their everyday lives. How is it different from a portrait? For example, A Mom Holding Her Baby by Mary Cassatt, is that a genre painting or is this a portrait? So there was a lot of discussion going on, a lot of discussion when it came to what qualified a landscape. We had a big discussion when there was a painting that was actually a seascape, I guess you could call it, and the student was like, well, it's a painting of water, so it can't be a landscape. So it's great to hear them talking about these things, especially with their partner. Once they had everything categorized on their cookie sheet, on the flip side of their cookie sheet, they were to create their gallery. When they're making their gallery, they can then decide what sections they want in their gallery. So like they could take and make an abstract gallery, or were they going to get really specific and make a non-objective gallery? Or are they going to create a portrait gallery of just portraits, or then some of them created like a separate self-portrait gallery. And it was just really fun to see that, first of all, they could categorize the artwork and then take the next step and become the curator to create their own galleries. Once they had created their own gallery, the beauty of working on a cookie sheet is that they could write all over this thing. They could write abstract on their cookie sheet and then create that gallery around there. And these guys also erase. Once they kind of had their gallery set up and had it curated, if they had time, I have 30-minute art classes, so I'm going to be honest with you. This was pretty much a 2-day activity for my students, because one day they spent a long time just sorting the work and then starting to kind of curate their gallery. If they had time, then they could use the back of this sheet, and this is placed in a sleeve protector, also made available to you if you're interested. It's just called the Tiny Little Art Museum. Working as a team, they could come up with a name for their museum, what their different sections of their gallery are, and then they were to create a map. If I were going to do this again, or when I do this again, I really want to get a bunch of maps from museums, whether I print them offline or just collect them, have them laminated. I think it'd be great for kids to see, and also just to introduce them before you take them on a field trip to a museum, so they understand all of the thought that has to go into curating an art exhibit. Now that my students have done this, they understand the different painting genres. They're actually getting ready to move on to their next art project, which is creating their own tiny little gallery, which I'll share more about, but that's why you've got to subscribe, because I won't be doing that today, but I will be doing it soon. So if you want more details on the resources, where you can get this PDF, on any of this stuff, you can find it on my blog. And yeah, there you go. Psych! Just one last thing I wanted to share with you. This is a page from my students' sketchbooks. So another thing that I like to do is when my kids finish early, if they're like yours, they're kind of all over the place with when they finish. I wanted them to continue to think about these genres. So one of the pages I created for their sketchbook, which I don't have these available for you yet, is this sheet. It says 5 painting genres, and again, this is in their sketchbook. Once they were finished with the gallery game, then they could draw their own version of each one of these. There's portrait, so they could draw a self-portrait or a portrait of somebody else. Historical painting, something that happened in history that's very important that we want to commemorate. A genre painting, painting of something that happens in everyday life. Landscape, and still life. So this was a great follow-up, an awesome post-assessment. So I just wanted to share this with you so you can take a good look at it in case it's something that you want to share with your students. Okay. Goodbye for reals. Have an awesome one, guys.